What's poppin', YouTube? Flash Speaks back, man, for a quick word. Listen, first off, we're gonna put out this disclaimer. It's not like I care if it was like this, but we just gonna make this clear. If you are a content creator, whether a content creator that I mess with or one that I don't really mess with, which, y'all know who you are or whatever, I haven't heard anything that you've put out on any of these subjects or what I'm about to talk about at all. Like, I really haven't. So this ain't no response to nobody. It's not a subliminal at anybody's. I really don't know what any of you feel about this, and honestly, I don't really care necessarily what anybody feels about this. But I just felt the need to just probably say, like, listen, if you are a person that is just running around here feeling some type of way or concerned in any way about Travis Hunter and the dynamics in his relationship with his woman that he's committed to, I'm assuming committed to, you got problems in your life. You have goal setting, focus problems, and you more than likely an underachiever in your personal life. How do I know that? Well, I know this from studying the greats throughout history. Those people who have left an impact on this planet before they left. Whether it's modern day people who live in right now, if you want to talk about the money spectrum in terms of like an Elon Musk type of person, or my man who I can't think of right now, who owns all the mobile home, invested and all that type of stuff going on, but he was a big time money guy. Geek bull, a lot of them guys are like that. I can't think of his name right now. Or if you want to talk about those who reach spiritual heights, like those of prophets and different spiritual masters and all of these types of people. Or you want to talk about somebody that excels in sports. So we're going to cover the physical, we're going to cover the spiritual, we're going to cover, the mental aspect of the human being. One of the things they understand and they value is time. Right? The spiritual masters called the person who understood this concept Ibn Waqt, meaning that he's the son of his time, meaning he's getting the most out of his time. When you look at the lives of people like the Michael Jordans, the Kobe Bryants, the Tom Brady's, whatever person you feel is worthy of like your respect, your admiration, and you're actually maybe modeling some of what you do after what they do, one of the things they all do is they take real good time and they take real good care of their time. How am I spending my time? How much of it am I utilizing towards something productive, or how much of it am I wasting? And I would think that all of them understand that when it comes to issues like my opinion on how another man is living, in particular when it comes to his relationship, something that I have no impact on, for me to go out there is just a waste of time. This is what I'm seeing all over the place when I look at, somebody who puts it out there, Travis Hunter supposedly waits 3 hours for his girl to come out of a party or whatever, and have an opinion on it. I'm seeing comments under it. This man is a simp. This man this man that. I'm just trying to give out a little bit of advice. You're more than likely an underachieving ass individual in your life who has not accomplished much of anything. Because this is what you're spending your time on. This man is spending time literally on building his relationship with his woman. Maybe the woman that he's going to build his family unit with. Maybe the one he's going to pass down, that's going to lead to building his progeny that he's going to pass down his legacy to. He himself is his own Abraham, because everybody has that potential in them to build what Abraham built, which is a nation, so that we are all a nation unto ourselves. Each one of us, especially if you see yourself as a man, because it's your legacy and your name that gets carried on. But if you spending your time just worrying about like who doing what, who the Joneses are, and all of that kind of stuff, you more than likely a very serious underachieving ass individual. And shout out to Travis Hunter. Shout out to him. That man went out there and did something that has not been done since 1997. 1997, a year that I remember clearly. I was a young boy trying to actually do something in the area of football myself. At this time, I was studying closely a man named Deion Sanders. My position was corner. So I was studying very closely a man, Deion Sanders, who actually, at that time, my favorite cornerback that had ever lived prior to seeing Deion Sanders was Mike Haynes. And to this day, Mike Haynes is still my GOAT at cornerback. If you don't know, look him up. He was a cornerback that was drafted by the New England Patriots, and he was an All-Pro there many years over. He pretty much was the preeminent shutdown corner of his time. So much so that he was the first to actually do what many people say Deion did. What Deion did was he made himself the final piece of a 1994 San Francisco 49ers defense, and became pretty much the difference between the pendulum swing that was taking place between the two kings of the NFC at the time, which is the San Francisco 49ers and the Dallas Cowboys. What Deion Sanders did was he goes to one team when he was with the 49ers the first year, shut down Michael Irvin in the championship game. The next year, the inevitable match between the 49ers and the Dallas Cowboys took place again, but now 49ers, for whatever reason, didn't re-up him. Jerry Jones was able to steal him. He went to the 49ers, and he was over there, and now he was tasked with slowing down Jerry Rice. And there he helped the Dallas Cowboys win in 95. But anyway, Deion Sanders was a guy that for a little bit when it came to football was like, I don't like the word idol. Idol deals with worship, and it deals with a lot of blasphemous, paganistic practices and stuff like that for those who are in the monotheistic, religious mindset. So I'm a monotheist. So I don't like the word idol, but he was someone that I patterned my football styles after. You know what I mean? He was a guy that I admired. Definitely, I would say looked up to, that sort of thing. Deion Sanders. And Travis Hunter, 1997, this is what I believe, was ripe for someone like a Charles Woodson to win the Heisman Trophy. Because prior to that, I believe either none or not after a long time. It's one or the other. No defensive players had won the Heisman Trophy. It was always going to offensive players because, the way layman people see the game, they feel like, it's usually an offensive player has the most impact. Back then, it was either the running back or the quarterback. Now it's more so almost damn near exclusively quarterback. But Charles Woodson was an impactful player who really set the precedent for what you would have to do to win without being a quarterback or running back. And that was, he was not only a defensive master, he was as good a cornerback as, because the guy he was dealing with at the time was Peyton Manning. You had Ryan Leaf, who was a very good college player coming out. You also had, McNabb had left earlier. McNabb was in the running the year before. There was some other quarterbacks too. I can't remember right now. But the main three finalists were Peyton Manning, Hall of Famer, Randy Moss, Hall of Famer, and then Charles Woodson, Hall of Famer. But Charles Woodson wasn't just as good on defense as both of those guys were on offense, especially for the Michigan Wolverines. And not only that, he also played on offense, which was, he played wide receiver, and then he played special teams as well. And he was an ace in all three areas of football. So the NFL or the college voters, which is set up by different regions, did the right thing in pushing through Charles Woodson. I could talk for a long time about that. As a matter of fact, I think they put out a 30 for 30 on the whole thing too that y'all could really check out if you want real details on what happened. I lived through it. I remember that, man, following that race. And Charles Woodson kind of became the next Deion. And I say the reason Deion influenced that is because Deion changed the way people looked at the cornerback position. It was always important, don't get me wrong, Right prior to that, you had the Mel Blunts, and like I mentioned, the Mike Hayneses and the Everson Wallses with the Cowboys, and a number of different corners, who had the impact. Darryl Green. I could go on. Like, you had a number of different corners. But Deion Sanders made it a position that, see, corners used to be like guys, let me be honest with you, and this is what happened with me, guys who weren't necessarily good enough to be wide receivers for whatever reason. You couldn't get the route tree down, you ain't had that type of agility, or your hands typically were like, you had the athleticism, but you ain't really had the hands. So you'll be better at stopping other receivers from getting off than you would from being like a receiver yourself. So a lot of times they switch you to corner. And then you'll be a safety if you're just not good enough to be corner. That's kind of the way it was back, when I was coming up. So Deion Sanders made it though. Now, shoot, you had a guy in middle school wanting to be not a wide receiver, but he wanted to be a cornerback. You be in high school, you wanting to be a cornerback. Like, I was in high school, wanting to be a corner with no desire to be a receiver. After watching Deion, he made it like a glorious position. Watching this dude snatch out routes, and then high step 50 yards to the end zone. Like, everybody wanted to do that. You know what I'm saying? But I'm saying all this to say, shout out to Travis Hunter for being the next one after Charles Woodson to do that, because it's been a long time, been almost 20 years. You talking damn 18 years? Or no, it's been at 90. Oh no, almost 30 years we talking, right? Yeah, am I tripping? Yeah, almost 30 years. So, shout out to him for that. Wow, man, I'm tired. The times go by. But shout out to Travis Hunter for that. And all you weirdos, you geeks, like, that's worried about his personal life, man. Bruh, that's letting me know that you don't understand relationships, man, are a strange thing. And, like, we all have our own ethos that we stand on, or our own ethics that we, like, abide by. Whether your thing is you follow the Bible, whether your thing is you follow the Quran, whether your thing is you follow some other system, whether it's just you follow what everybody else doing. You have some idea of like how a relationship should work. Whether it's you believe in the what you call the patriarchy, which is the male has to be the dominant like force. Whether it's a patriarchy where you lead from the front, whether it's a patriarchy where you lead from behind. Because you got some men that are like they run their house, but they run it from behind. Meaning like the wife will answer the door to talk to someone, and the husband, like he just listening from the back, he'll yell from the back, no baby, tell her, like she'll ask the question, she'd go, like, in other words, somebody come to the door, talk to your wife, your girl, all right, blah blah blah, whatever. So she wants to decide what she's gonna do. So she go back talk to her husband. Hey, look, there's a guy here for such and such. He decide, no, we ain't doing that. Or yes, we doing that. Then he come up, and then she comes and relays it to the person at the door. That's still leadership, but it's just leading from behind. Like some people will criticize that and say, all right, this guy, he's weak because he's not. No, that's just his leadership style, and that falls under the umbrella of patriarchal leadership. Then you can have matriarchal leadership, where it's pretty much like the woman that's in charge. And then a lot of people criticize that. They say, bro, this man is weak. He's not an alpha. He's a beta, or he's this new sigma and all. Like, I don't abide by none of that bullshit, because I understand the human being is way more complex than that. The human being has different temperaments. There's different, it goes on. We can have another video talking about that, for real. But what you got to understand is what works for you and your particular temperament, where you got to be in charge or you got to exercise your rights and authority all the time. Maybe that man doesn't have the need to do that. Maybe he's comfortable how he's doing it, or there could be some other reason why he's doing what he's doing. But the point is, that man is successfully in a relationship with that woman. They've came to some agreement and some understanding that works for both of them towards a successful union. That's all that really matters. your fucking opinion don't mean nothing to somebody else. And really the role you're playing in trying to cause some problems or trying to cause a disturbance or whatever, whether you think it's just a joke and you're clowning somebody, really, if you successfully cause problems in that relationship, you're really playing the role of a devil. That's really what you're doing. That's the role of a devil. And in most spiritual traditions will tell you that one of the things that the devil wants to do is break a house, break down a house, break up a marriage, cause problems between the husband and the wife. You could take that back to the beginning, where you talk about the story of Adam and Eve and the serpent, right? You need to kind of, think about what you're doing and how you living and really, put more focus in impacting your own personal life and not worrying so much about another motherfucker, because that's not going to impact you. And then for some of you that do it for likes and views and you benefit, then all right, go. You benefiting, but is it worth it? What are you benefiting from? You know what I'm saying? Just want to put that out there, man. But shout out to everybody, all the content creators that's doing anything. Shout out again to Travis Hunter. Shout out to, Deion Sanders and Colorado in that program out there. You know what I'm saying? Keep it going. It's a beautiful thing to see. And I'm on my way to the gym again, man, because I got to focus on me and mine. Get with y'all later, man. Peace out.